To add anything to minicart content, we should first need to know how the content renders for it. So let's find out by navigating to vendor, Magento, and then module checkout, view, front end, layout, and then open default.xml file. We see minicart block contains JS layout argument which has a bunch of components. Let's find out more in minicart content component. Open the specified template file. Open the directories web, template, minicart, and then open content.html. We see the template file contains proceed to checkout button. So that means we are exploring correct template file. We have two ways to customize our logic using this template file. First, passing our component to extra info as a child node. If we choose this scenario, the custom button will be displayed before proceed to checkout button. However, in second case, we override the whole template file and push our component wherever we need. So let's go with the first step first. Now switch back to default.xml and let's find out the extra info component. Extra info item is a UI component with no template file so far. So we will go with creating its template file and rendering our custom component inside. So inside your module, create a layout file, create view, front end, and layout directories. Now create default.xml file, create body node, create reference block node for minicart. Now begin with adding arguments. Copy JS argument from checkout XML file and paste into default XML. Next, copy the components node. Then minicart underscore content node. Then copy the children node. Skip subtotal.container node. Now copy extra underscore info node. Create config node and specify XSI type array. Create template node and specify our custom template path. Let's call our template file extra-info. Now go ahead and create template file. Create directories web then template. Now create extra-info.html template file. For now, let's keep this empty and switch back to layout file. Now create children node. Under children node, create extra_info_btn node and specify XSI type array. Next, create a component node and specify a custom component. No underscore module JS custom dash button. Now it's time to create our custom component. Create JS directory first. Inside JS directory, create custom dash button.js component file. Specify UI component dependency. Then specify UI component instance. Return and extend the component. Create defaults object array and specify the component template path. Now create custom dash button.html template file. Switch back to component file. Add KO dependency. Now create btn content observable property. Next, create initialize function. Call parent method. Set a dummy value to btn content variable. Open custom button template file. Create a div element and specify HTML data binding. Specify btn content variable as HTML binding value. Now add a button to show how manually update btn content variable value. Add click binding and specify fetch button content method. We will create this function later in the component. Specify button text. Now we will create fetch button content function. Open custom button component. Create fetch button content function. Copy btn content from initialize function. Replace text value with the button HTML content. Now open default XML layout file and specify display area, extra info btn. Now open extra info template file, create knockout element each. In argument specify get origin and pass extra info btn as parameter. Keep the render attribute empty and close the element tag. Run setup upgrade command and install your module. Now open a product listing page. Add a product item to the cart. Now click the cart icon and display the mini cart content. We see the content loaded as expected. Clicking fetch button replaces text with button. Now we will go with our second approach by overriding the template file. Now open checkout default layout file. So we will only replace minicart component template with our custom. Copy config node. Now open default XML layout file. Before children node, paste the config node. Replace Magento underscore checkout with no underscore module. Now in the template folder, create minicart directory. Create content.html template file. Now navigate to checkout module and open content.html template file. Copy all of the content. Now open our newly created content.html template file and paste the content. Now open extra info template file. Copy the each element. Then open content.html template file. After minicart widgets div, create a div element with id custom dash button and paste the each element. Now open default XML layout file. Cut the extra info btn node and replace extra underscore info node with it. So we see extra underscore info underscore btn node directly under minicart children node. Flush the cache and clear the static or generated content. Reload the page. Click the cart icon. We see our button appear at our desired location. Let's fetch button content using ajax request. We will do it from our own controller. Go ahead and create frontend routes.xml file. Under etc folder, create frontend directory. Create routes.xml file. Specify route ID and route name. Now it's time to create a controller. Create controller and then index directory. Now create ajax controller file. Implement app action interface. Create result factory instance. And then create layout factory property. And assign layout factory instance to it. Create layout class instance. Now create the block and specify the template file. And convert to it HTML content. Now create JSON result instance. Now set HTML in result data and return JSON result instance. Now we need to create our PHTML template file. Create templates directory first. Now create custom-btn.html template file. Create a button inside the template file. Specify button text. Now open custom button component. Add Mage storage dependency. We will use it to perform ajax requests. Now add Mage URL dependency. This will be used to build the URL to the store using path. Next, add jQuery dependency. Remove the btn content value because we will now set its dynamic value using ajax request. Now build the URL to the controller. Specify path to the controller. Next, create GET request using storage API. Specify service URL. When request is completed, set the response data. Create instance to current component. Now assign the response data to the btn content variable. This will display the changes on minicart as well. Now remove btn content variable value assignment and replace with calling a function. Open custom button template file and remove the button HTML from here. Now flush the cache and clear the static content. Now again click the cart icon button. The button loaded as expected. If we watch the request in network tab, we can see the request is being dispatched correctly whenever the page is loaded. That's all. Please like and subscribe the channel.